Hey guys, so you probably noticed that the last episode of this series was posted about 2 months ago. So I've had a lot of busy time with school and stuff, and as of now, of April of 2025, I have about probably a month left of school. So in the summer, I should be able to post a lot more episodes like these. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And yeah, so if you guys haven't been following along with the series called Deconstructing the Music, basically what I do is I take a song that I like, mainly a classic rock or metal or something like that kind of genre type of song, and I break it down into the form of isolated tracks. And the tracks I'm getting from for this particular episode and what I've done so far and the other two episodes are from this app called Cram It, which lets you isolate different instruments, lets you play along with a click track, it lets you slow down, kind of loop sections, loop bars, and it does a lot of crazy things. I'll probably explain all that in a separate video, but that's the app I'm going to be using for the isolated tracks of the song. And yeah, I'm going to go through the song section by section, point out some details, not really break it down like Rick Beato does, like the different chords he describes. So that is really cool, but of course I'm not really a professional at that, so I probably will be when I graduate from college or sometime. But yeah, anyways, so I'm gonna break it down section by section on just things that I like, just kind of like do a few highlights here and there, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So for the first two episodes, we've been starting with the Dream Theater's Octavarium album, and the first two songs were The Root of All Evil and The Answer Lies Within. So for this episode, we're going to do the song These Walls. So here we go. Tear down these walls for me. Stop me from going under. You're the only one who knows I'm holding back. It's not too late for me to keep from sinking further. I'm trying to find my way out. Tear down these walls for me now. Okay, so when first listening to this album, I think it was earlier in the year, maybe in like September or October or something like that. This was actually my favorite song off the album, and surprisingly, it still is. And that chorus that you just heard is my favorite part of the song. But of course, like all songs, we're gonna start at the intro. Now, I don't know how John Petrucci, the guitar player, actually played that. According to Cramit, it's whammy bar effects for like the first like seven measures or so. And the part like right before the riff actually sounds like a motorcycle for some reason, which I thought was really funny. By the way, for Cramit, the song doesn't actually start at the very beginning. It like for some reason cuts out like the first like 10 seconds, and it starts around here. It's really hard to describe the sound effects, but I'll show you where it starts. That's probably because they just wanted to make the tempo a lot straighter and just not because like at the beginning maybe it was like out of time just a little bit. I'm not sure what it was, but they I guess they just wanted to make it easier so they could just say do this whammy bar effect for the first seven measures and then kick into the main riff. Like they just wanted to be as easy as that. I would probably say that. So that's my opinion. Okay, the only hidden detail I could find in that section is that there's actually a piano that's buried under the guitar. Well, kind of. So, that piano is actually from the previous track, The Answer Lies Within, and the piano warps up in pitch, I think from like a G to a G sharp or something like that. And by the way, I'm not sure why, but that track, like for these walls, like the piano track, is not available by itself for some reason. So, in case you guys have been wondering that on Cram It, for some reason that's just mixed with the guitar track. Like maybe the isolated audio for the piano and the guitar was not available for these walls. I'm not sure what it was, but they have like the guitar and piano both as one track for the guitar one file in Cram It. So yeah. Okay, so the next part of the song is when the full band kicks in, and I actually stand corrected for the name of this section, and it is actually called the Intro 2 section, and the Intro 1 is when like just the guitar plays the riff after the whammy bar kind of sound effects. Okay, now we're into the pre-verse section, which is what I like to call the setup of the first verse. So like the full band is like setting up for the vocals on the next section, so that's why it's called the pre-verse section. So anyways, the only hidden detail I could find in this particular part of the song was what one of the keyboards are doing. So as you know, one of the keyboards does that distorted kind of mono synth sound, or whatever it's called. I forgot the name again. But yeah, on that same track, the keyboard actually goes down in pitch, so it goes like da 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 da. I'm not very good at imitating it, but just listen to it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now, when I listen to the original album version, the keys, of course, sound really buried, and I would honestly say that it's bending down slower in pitch than on the Kermit version. So I'm going to play the two versions back to back and see what you think. Another thing that I found really cool about the pre-verse section is what the other keyboard is doing. And that is an affected piano sound, but I was really confused on what Kremit meant by that, because all it just says is affected piano. It doesn't say like it's a built-in sound effect in an electronic keyboard, or whether it's a like broken acoustic piano, which I can't imagine Jordan Rudess playing on that just to get that particular sound, just breaks his piano and then just wants the affected piano sound. I don't think that's how he recorded it, but if you guys know, just let me know in the comments below, and if y'all know anything about that particular sound effect, on whether it was electronically recorded or acoustically recorded. But regardless, this is what I'm talking about. The last thing I like about this section is the nice tone on this guitar right here. It is just so beautiful. Okay, now we're into the first verse of the song, so obviously, like I said, it's the same as the pre-verse, except this time there's obviously vocals.
This is so hard for me to find the words to say. My thoughts are standing still, captive inside of me. All emotions start to hide, and nothing's getting through.
Then we have the first pre-chorus of the song, and this is when a set of stereo guitars comes in with distortion and a phaser effect on it. Also, the affected piano changes from that to an acoustic piano with chorus on it. I almost forgot to mention that there's actually a synth that's being played too, and if you blend it with the piano, it actually sounds really good. Now right before we go into the chorus, we have a drum fill, which sounds really cool too. Now in the chorus, the guitars have the phaser effect turned off. The lead mono synth does the same line as the intro, of course. And there's also double-tracked harmony vocals that are panned on each speaker that blend really well with the lead vocal too.
Tear down these walls for me, stop me from going under. You are the only one who knows I'm. Tear down these walls for me, stop me from going under. You're the only one who knows I'm holding back. Tear down these walls for me, stop me from going under. You are the only one who knows I'm holding back.
Okay, the next part of the song, after James sings, "Tear down these walls for me now," after that part, is, according to Kramit, it's called the interlude, but I would probably consider it as pre-verse 2 because it's the same setup as the first pre-verse, except there's no vocals on that, and then the verse comes after that with the vocals on it. So after the chorus, it does like the same kind of setup before the second verse. So probably that was just their opinion, but you know, again, I don't know about all this stuff, so yeah, we're into what's called the interlude section, so here's what I'm talking about.
So much uncertainty. I don't like this feeling. I'm sinking like a stone. Each time I try to speak, there's a voice I'm hearing, and it changes everything.
The second pre-chorus is pretty much the same as the first one, except I'm pretty sure the synth strings are actually one octave higher than on the first pre-chorus. So take a listen to that. And of course, leading up to the next chorus, there's another drum fill, except this time it's different. One thing that I actually left out of the pre-choruses is what the background vocals are doing right before the drum fills. So when I first listened to these background vocals by themselves, I was really confused and tried to make sense of that when listening to the album version. So I'm going to play those isolated, and then I'm going to put it in context with the Kramit mix and then the album mix. So here it is.
Yes! My instincts falling into darkness. Tear down these walls.
So the background vocals were singing the second syllable of darkness, which is the last word at the end of the pre-chorus. So it goes from that and into the chorus. So that's what the harmony vocals were doing. And if you listen to the album version really carefully, to me it sounds like those are just like crescendoing like this, like, and not just like dot on like an accent like on the Kramit mix. But if you guys listen to those back to back, then you guys can understand what I mean. So yeah. So the background vocals sing the last syllable of darkness in the first pre-chorus, and then at the end of the second chorus they sing failing. Or well, I mean I meant just the second syllable of failing. So they sing the ing part before they go into tear down these walls for me. So that's what they do in the second chorus. And once again with the crescendoing, I think it's the same method as the first one. So yeah. Another thing that I actually forgot to mention about the choruses is that there's actually a hidden percussion instrument in the mix underneath the drums, and that's the tambourine. So that tambourine track isn't available by itself. It's not in like any extras kind of track. Just like they have on like Guitar Hero or something like that. They have it on like the no drums backing track. So this is what it sounds like.
Tear down these walls for me. Stop me from going under. You are the only one who knows I'm holding back. It's not too late for me to keep from sinking further. I'm trying to find my way out. Tear down these walls for me now.
So after the second chorus, we have the bridge, and One of my favorite things about this part is what the piano is doing. Now I don't know about you, but I heard some kind of string sounds that's like layered with the piano, or maybe it's like an overdub, in some parts of the bridge. They don't even have this as a note on like Cram It. Like say it's like slightly layered with strings here. They have said that in The Root of All Evil before. Maybe in The Answer Lies Within, but there's at least one spot on The Root of All Evil where the piano is layered with strings, maybe like just an overdub, but apparently it does the same thing on these walls, except they don't have it labeled. So comment down below if you guys think that that is strings with the piano. So yeah. Alright, now we're into the guitar solo part of the song, so let's first hear the solo isolated. Now for the backing part of the solo, there actually isn't any guitars underneath that, surprisingly. So the Guitar 1 track stops at the guitar solo part, and the guitar solo is Guitar 2, but what's underneath the solo is actually what Kramit calls 80s synth sounds. And I agree, because those definitely sound really 80s, so take a look at those. Other than that, there's the acoustic piano that keeps playing after the bridge. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the background vocals actually do that crescendo of or just whatever the second syllable is. In this case, they do I'm, as in the last syllable, or actually the only syllable of time. Like when James sings on the lead vocal, one more time, the harmonies join in later. I'm. They crescendo on the album version, but on Cram It, for some reason, they don't once again. So, just like those earlier crescendos, I think right after the two pre-choruses, it doesn't have the crescendos in there. It does it differently on Cram It. So, once again, I'm not sure why, but yeah, that's what happens. The synthesizer actually has an overdub on one of the tracks, and apparently it does an octave higher than the previous time. So the first pre-chorus it does as a low octave. The second chorus does an octave higher. And the third time it does it another octave, except I think that's an overdub. Now we're into the outro of the song, and the lead guitar is actually doing the same line as the solo. My favorite part is actually the end of that section where the keyboard and guitar both play high notes. I'm going to play those two separately, then play them together, and then I'll play them in context. So, see what you think. Now after that is the outro 2 section, which sounds like this. The only thing I found that was hidden in that section is what the synthesizer is doing. It's just well blended with the guitars and bass, so the low notes especially are pretty buried. Okay, so you probably heard that the keys did da 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 da. Well, the guitar and bass actually do that too, and I was surprised to actually hear what the bass was doing because I'm pretty sure John Young or whatever his last name is was I think playing it fingerstyle, which is really tough to do on a bass. Do those triplet things, or maybe that was an overdub and maybe it was like played with a pick. I'm not sure what it was, but here's how he played it. Now we're into the outro 3 section, and the only thing that's different from outro 2 is that the keys have another overdub on it. So the overdub is da 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 da, or something like that. So unfortunately that line is not available by itself. So unfortunately the synthesizer is only available with that and the overdub, like just on its own. Like those two aren't separatable, or if that's a word. But anyways, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And pretty much after the band just does those 3 hits, the da da da. On the original album version, there's actually like a sound of a heartbeat and some wind, and then like 5 seconds later comes the sound of chime. Unfortunately, Kramit doesn't have that on the app for some reason. So I don't know why. Maybe those tracks were lost, or maybe they decided not to include it on there in terms of tempo, so I'm not sure what it was, but Cram It just doesn't have it on there for some reason. You might be thinking, what comes next? Well, that's going to be for the next episode, and the next episode will feature the song I Walk Beside You, which is the next track after These Walls. So thank y'all for watching this video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and yeah, I hope to post the 4th episode sometime in the summer, or maybe sometime before school ends. I don't know when, but I hope to make time for that just like I did for this video. So thanks again for watching, and yeah, see you guys later.